I don't know how much longer I'm going to have this channel for. Roc Nation and Desiree Perez, it appears they're coming after anyone who speaks on this situation with Desiree Perez and her daughter. They're sending copyright strikes. They're sending DMCA takedowns. They're, being accused of trying to hack certain people's devices and accounts. It's getting serious. And when you read the daughter lawsuits, these accusations don't really appear to be shocking, right? The daughter is accusing them of doing similar things to her. So them doing this to content creators isn't shocking. Is this going to sway me away from speaking on this issue, speaking on this case in this situation? It's not. If my YouTube channel gets taken, I'll speak about it on Twitter. If my Twitter gets taken, I'll speak about it on Rumble. If my Rumble gets taken, I'll speak about it somewhere else, bro. But at some point, man, you have to make a decision. You're either going to be led and guided by money, or you're going to be led and guided by principles. Yeah, it's great. I get to feed my family off YouTube. My mom is retired off of my YouTube income. I get to live a good life. But is that worth more than speaking on the truth? Is that worth more than telling it how it is? Is that worth more than abandoning someone that I believe is a clear victim? No. Desiree Perez's daughter, Damori Hadley, is fighting back against this narrative or this newfound sympathy for Desiree Perez that the public currently has. So after Desiree Perez and the lawsuit with Damori Hadley's husband became public, people then begin to associate Desiree Perez with a Karen mother who did some things that are unethical, but she only did it to save her daughter. The daughter is claiming that is hogwash and y'all need to cut it out. Let's just recap the allegations. So Desiree Perez is being accused of illegal wiretapping her daughter's bedroom. Desiree Perez actually admitted to this in her lawsuit against the daughter's husband. Crazy. She admitted to put in cameras and illegal audio recording devices in the bedroom to try to catch the husband doing some things to her daughter that she was suspecting. Hacking up the iCloud account. The daughter only has one iPhone. However, another iPhone was linked to her iCloud, and the address of that iPhone was the Roc Nation headquarters. Threats to Baker Act and false imprison her, which we've seen it play out right on camera. Desiree Perez is claiming that this was not a false imprisonment or a threat to Baker Act under false pretenses. She claims that she was actually concerned for her daughter's mental health. Desiree Perez used the help of a network of people, including mental health professionals, to get her daughter institutionalized because the daughter wouldn't leave her husband. Those are the accusations against Desiree Perez. Now, all of this played out on video.
What happened to Damori Hadley is genuinely scary. If you don't know, Damori is suing Roc Nation and their CEO, Desiree Perez. Damori is Desiree's daughter, and she is claiming that she was unlawfully held, unlawfully detained in a mental health facility for almost 2 weeks. I need to show you guys something because it gets crazier than what we just read from headlines.
He's not my doctor. He's never seen me in my life.
A concern Damori raises several times in the video.
He's a doctor. He's part of the mobile crisis unit.
I've never spoken to him.
I don't care.
First, I need to point out that the cops did not verify the identity or the credentials of the mobile crisis unit.
And she also says he never examined her. On the Baker Act paperwork, Dr. Bober certified he did that exam at 5:56 p.m. that day. The same time, video shows them all still in that parking lot. He diagnosed her with an unspecified psychosis, adding she was a risk to herself.
Explain to me how you can do a full mental evaluation from a parking lot. Memorial Healthcare told NBC that there is no mobile crisis team that is affiliated with the hospital. So NBC verified the identities of these people, and the doctor is a real doctor, but the people who say they're part of the mobile crisis unit, whatever they're calling it, they are part of a private security company called Sig9. Now, a representative for the doctor is telling NBC6 that he's not affiliated with Sig9 either, and he didn't hire the company. So you're telling me that the hospital didn't hire them, and the doctor didn't hire them, and the police just showed up and said, okay, I will believe whatever you say, and I will help you get this woman into a mysterious van. They told her that she had to go into this van, right? Again, the cops did not verify the identity of the people who are getting her into this random car. Now, the Baker Act allows a physician to order someone they've examined in the previous 48 hours. I am not understanding how you can do an examination from a parking lot. Damori is claiming this is not her doctor. She's never met this man. If you make me go into an unmarked van without my consent, I am considering that kidnapping.
Desiree Perez allegedly hired that same security team who lied about being a mobile unit for the mental health hospital, who was also conspiring with the doctor, the pseudo doctor, to get the daughter Baker acted. Apparently that same security team was following around the daughter and her boyfriend.
This is terrifying and disgusting. I need y'all to take a second and hit that like button. Also subscribe. We're going to find out today what Desiree Perez is now doing to YouTubers and content creators to silence them so they stop talking about this situation and what she's doing to her daughter, what she's done to the world, and what potentially and allegedly she did to Tory Lanez. All this stuff is alleged. but it's very scary. Let's keep going, y'all.
24/7 and giving them no breaks whatsoever. The daughter at the time in 2023 was working for a company called Iconic Creative LLC. That company was struggling financially or needed a loan. The daughter would accuse Desiree Perez of giving the company the loan they needed. In exchange, the company sort of began to work for Desiree Perez. Like, for example, they faked a meeting with Nike, but instead it was a therapist on the Zoom call with a fake Nike profile. And the therapist was asking the daughter weird questions, and they were trying to use that Zoom meeting that was being recorded. They were trying to use that as an evaluation to get the daughter Baker acted and institutionalized again. That company eventually ended up firing the daughter, and the daughter would claim that Desiree Perez demanded that they fired her. So she's losing her job. She's being institutionalized about 4 times. Her husband is being attacked. She's being attacked. She's being followed. And it's gotten to a point where she's like, okay, I got to sue. However, as of lately, there's been a sympathy party for Desiree Perez because Desiree Perez has effectively given some evidence that the husband was somewhat abusive towards her daughter. This is the video right here. Essentially, Desiree Perez is using as an excuse for why she took the measures that she took. So the daughter is in the red shorts. The husband will walk in, barging in, and he would appear to throw a punch at the daughter and then take her and throw her into a room and lock the door. They were being wiretap recorded for about 2 years, and this is the only source of proof she has that any form of abuse is going on, which, to be honest, bruh, I feel like that's enough. Yo, you do this one time to my daughter, we are ops. However, the daughter is saying, hold on, bruh. One, her receipts can't be trusted because Desiree Perez allegedly played an audio of her daughter crying out or screaming to be raped to her daughter's psychologist or therapist, but the therapist know how the daughter sounds like. So the therapist is telling Desiree Perez, hold on, this is not your daughter. This is not her voice. Apparently, the daughter is saying that Desiree Perez played fraudulent or fake audio to her therapist to try to get the therapist to Baker actor. So this is what we're dealing with here. So we got to look at all the receipts of proof with some sketchy eyes. But even if this is true, I can understand why Desiree Perez has a vendetta against the husband. I can understand why she would want the daughter to leave the husband. But what I won't understand or don't understand, and what the daughter is saying is, what's y'all excuse for what she did to me? If I'm the victim, if I'm her daughter, why would she lie about me like being on drugs, being depressed, doing this and doing this? Why would she lie to get me institutionalized? Why would she get me fired from my job? Why is she having private security following me at unsafe distances 24/7? Why is she trying to bribe out my therapist with fake receipts to have me institutionalized? Why is she doing this to my life? And the answer is Desiree Perez wanted her to leave her husband and she refused. But the daughter would take to Instagram to get some things off her chest. The daughter would claim that Desiree Perez is using fake evidence to sway the public opinion. She would say, continue to send everyone that loves us fake evidence to sway the public opinion. You care more about your image than your own daughter. Let that sink in, and the world can see it. I think it's time to expose some things. Sincerely, DH. The daughter would also claim that they've seen outlets and accounts that supporting them get suspended, shadow ban, and more to control the narrative. One of those accounts being Milagro, YouTuber and media personality who's also being sued by Roc Nation and Megan Thee Stallion. Her account got suspended coincidentally, after covering everything regarding this lawsuit. She was one of the first, if not the first account to start posting about this Desiree Perez lawsuit. The same day she posted about it, her account got suspended like this. Now, we probably got some insight into exactly how her account got suspended because another smaller account announced that they're being attacked by Desiree Perez and Roc Nation. Creators are getting DMCA notices and copyright takedowns from Desiree Perez team. They're being accused of copyrighting public material like screenshots of lawsuits and screenshots of materials that are already out there. They're being accused of sending copyright strikes for those materials. And once you get 3 copyright strikes, well, you're out of here, right? You get 3 copyright strikes, your page get taken down, and they take everything. So creators are accusing Desiree Perez and her team of utilizing attorneys and powerful people to destroy the lives of creators who dare to cover this case. Some creators are alleging, on top of the DMCA's takedown request from Desiree Perez teams, they're receiving, login attempts on their phones. And they're saying, hold on, I've never received this before. I've never had to deal with people trying to hack into my account. All of a sudden, I'm speaking on Desiree Perez and her team, and all of a sudden now I'm having to deal with hackers. What's going on here, bruh? Who could be responsible for this? Now, her daughter, Desiree Perez's daughter, Damari Hadley, she would actually repost this and she would say, her team is trying to hack others. This is what they did to my husband and I to fabricate evidence. They have the technology to do anything and everything they want. Now, what she's referring to is, the iPhone evidence, where Desiree Perez's daughter will see like foreign phones or foreign like iPhones or other devices attached to her iCloud account. And those devices will have an address to the Roc Nation headquarters. So essentially, she's accusing Desiree Perez of hacking into her iCloud or using a team of people to hack into her iCloud so she could access information from her daughter's phone. So she's saying if she can do that, then she for sure can try to hack into y'all devices. And for the people who claim that everything Desiree Perez is being accused of is justified because the husband may just be a garbage human being, the daughter will respond back to that and she will say, let's not get distracted with fake evidence. I was abducted by the BSO police, private investigators James Fondo, Jessica Caddy, and Stephen Caddy from SIG9 and DR Daniel Barber. Desiree Perez paid and did this with them, on the road with police and men I have never met in my life. This is not an evaluation that a concerned parent would orchestrate. I am the victim, not you and your team or the abusers. If everything she's accusing Desiree Perez of doing is true, then you can look at the situation and you can say, okay, the husband may be a bad guy. A mother may want her daughter not to be with a husband like that. However, that doesn't excuse what the daughter is going through. That doesn't excuse what she's allegedly going through. That doesn't excuse her being targeted, her being attacked, her being tormented and victimized. It's very normal for a mother not to want her daughter to date someone that she don't approve of. It's not normal to hack accounts, stalk, get the daughter institutionalized, get the son arrested, and go through so many steps. That's not what's normal, man. And yo, I fear, to be honest, bro. In the movies, a lot of times, the superhero defeat the villain. The villains suffer their demise. In real life, villains usually get away with everything. Villains are not often brought to justice at all when it comes to real life. So do I believe that, if Desiree Perez is guilty of these things, do I believe that Desiree Perez is gonna face consequences? Is she gonna suffer? Probably not. Right? The rich and powerful usually don't face consequences. They don't suffer consequences. And when I say rich and powerful, I'm talking about a different level. I'm not just talking about you are rich.
Yeah, because Desiree Perez, we've already seen she controls the cops. She controls doctors, therapists, physicians. She controls politicians. She controls the judges. She calls these people and tells them what to do. And then she goes out here and does it. Not only that, let's take it a step further. She's tied to the Mexican cartel and taking down 2 Mexican cartels. Allegedly. Well, not even allegedly because it's paperwork. And, imagine somebody taking down 2 Mexican cartels and they just out here chilling. Who is that person? They're just on TV every day just chilling. Ain't nobody. What? Do something. Do something about it. Nah, this is a different type person. And you always got to remember, when Megan Thee Stallion's team got the news of the new Tory Lanez evidence coming out, within a week, Tory Lanez was almost stabbed to death randomly out of nowhere. Borderline for no reason. Because every story we got from the guy who did it, it was a different story every day. As if somebody was just telling them different stories to say. So there is no limit to what could be possible from these type of people, allegedly. So y'all drop it in the comments. Let me know what y'all think about this. Let me know about, if you think it's cool what Desiree is doing or if you think it's disgusting. This is some of the wildest stuff I've ever heard and read. I'm going to continue to follow this story. I'm going to start saying this stuff is alleged. Just from the simple fact that people are getting copyright strikes and takedowns because the media seems to be wanting to be silenced by somebody. But I'm not the type to be silenced. I've always been hard-headed and I've always said and did what I wanted to. And I'll continue to, because I went over this case and I believe Tory Lanez is innocent and I know a liar when I see one. It's your boy, What's Up, G. If anybody said they love y'all, I love y'all. I'm out, y'all.